going to be taking our parenting segment at this point. Femi Shofoluwe is a thoroughbred, passionate youth teacher, now someone with more than a decade hands-on experience in teens and youth counseling. Now, we're here to discuss how to teach responsibility. But the question now is, how do you teach what you may not have? Welcome back to the studio.
Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning.
Good morning. Now, responsibility for children probably doesn't feel like it has as much weight as it does to parents, obviously because a lot of parents haven't really thought about teaching their kids about responsibility. How do they begin? Where do you start from as a parent?
As a parent, first, you must be responsible. If you don't know the state you are, when it comes to responsibility, you may need to take some assessment tests to know whether or not you are responsible. I've heard some children make comment like, Mommy, so-so person made me bite my tongue. When you hear such, you begin to feel like, it's your tongue, it's your teeth. Everything is in your mouth. How can somebody else made you bite it? If you check, a parent of such children probably have said things like, I don't like the way you make me yell. Yelling is what you did as a parent outside whatever the child has done. You have 100% control over your action. And when we talk about responsibility in children, we're talking about how to teach children to take responsibility over what they do or don't do.
So I have to take it now. So between siblings, let's say two siblings have an argument and something breaks, right? This is something that probably happens a lot in every average home. And you hear a child say, it wasn't me, it wasn't my fault.
Right.
It was his fault or her fault.
Right.
Pointing at the other child.
Right.
But they were both involved in the argument.
Yes.
So how do you explain to this child?
Well, as a parent, if a child is lying, because basically that is the bottom line. When a child refuses to take responsibility over what they have done, that is lying. That means such parent probably have taken too much, they have taken it too far when it comes to punishing children for what they did. You need to learn as a parent to separate offense from the offender. The children has committed an offense, and that is what they have done. They are not necessarily the offense. You don't throw a baby out with dirty water. You wash them, throw away the water, and keep the baby. The same way, protect the state of mind of your children when you are melting out disciplinary action over them. Let them know that what they have done is wrong, but that doesn't mean they are wrong. You need to validate who they are. And if you can do that as a parent, your children naturally will be responsible because they know that, yeah, I've done something wrong, but that doesn't make me a wrong person before my parent.
I want to take us back to that same scenario now. I can imagine some parents figuring out who out of the two children are actually to blame and meting out discipline on the one they believe is to blame.
All right.
Whereas, in my opinion, both children are at fault for even arguing or fighting in the first place.
Right.
And both of them should take responsibility. But how do you then not seem unfair to one child?
My question is, as a parent, why do you want to know who break what?
Okay.
If it's necessary to know, are you going to jail the child? Are you going to, what do you want to do with the knowledge? The knowledge is actually irrelevant. What is wrong is wrong. They were both arguing and they broke something at home. They both deserve to be punished. I do that for my children. And when somebody is trying to bring up scuffle, the next time, you hear the other one saying, Daddy, somebody is going to do something and I'm not involved. Right there you can step in so that what happened in the first place will not repeat itself again.
Okay, now let's think about the parents now, who we started out by saying the parents must be responsible.
Yes.
What are the characteristics of a responsible parent?
Number one, as a responsible parent, you must see yourself as the number one tool for teaching responsibility to your children. You don't blame others for what you are supposed to do. You don't give your child a reason for not attending parent meeting in school. You are supposed to attend, irrespective of what happened. Oh, they batched my car, that is why I couldn't come. It's none of the child's business. You couldn't make it, Take responsibility for that and apologize. Once you do that, you are teaching your child to be responsible for their action, and then you need to let them know that there are consequences for the actions they take and the one they don't take. As a parent, like the example I just cited, there is parent meeting in school and you couldn't make it. Don't give them any reason for not making it. Just own up to that lapses of yours and apologize for it. If you can do that as a parent, your child naturally will learn to be responsible for their actions.
Okay. So now there's a lot of, there's a fine line between this discipline and fear. So in the end, if a child is supposed to be a little bit more responsible and maybe over time you've not really instilled this sense of responsibility in them beforehand and you're just about to start, we run the risk of making this child fear instead of feel responsible for their actions. How do we discourage that?
As a parent, when you discipline, why do you do it? Do you do it to inflict pain, or you do it to correct an action or an habit? If you do it, some parents discipline their child because they are angry, and you don't discipline a child in anger. If you do that, you are going to damage the self-esteem of that child. You are going to damage the moral responsibility of that child. That child naturally will tend to lie. But when you discipline them, if you do it in love, and how do you discipline children in love? After you have finished disciplining them, call them up, hug them, ask them, do they know why you did what you did, to be sure that they know why you did it. If they don't, explain it to them and let them know if they repeat this action, this is the consequences that will follow. Yet, that doesn't affect how much you love them. If you need to give that child an ice cream, don't take it away for that day. You have already disciplined him or her for what they did.
So don't take away things.
Appropriate, give appropriate discipline to the offense they commit. Don't take it too far. You see, you just need to let them know that what they did is wrong. And once they get that, even sometimes you don't need to discipline them that much. Once they get that idea that what they did is wrong, your assignment is done. But taking it too long, like, oh, you are not going to eat until so time, you are not going to watch TV until tomorrow or next week, that is just too much. That is, they will see you as just being wicked. That is it, nothing more.
So now, a parent is watching right now. They want to start. They just want to start teaching this responsibility thing. Where do they start from? What are the things they can do today that will make a difference?
Like right now, ask yourself, what am I supposed to be responsible for as a parent? If you can locate one right now, be responsible for it and let your child see you taking that responsibility. For example, you just woke up this morning and you can't find your key. You are the one that drove in yesterday, your car key. You drove in yesterday, you kept the car key somewhere, and you don't know where it is. Now you are raging, you are shouting in the house. You need to stop that.
Okay.
And the moment you stop that and you are looking for your key, you can even use an apologetic tone. Oh, children, can you help me look for my key? They will see that you are taking responsibility for your own action. And from there, they begin to learn that it is good to take responsibility for whatever you do.
I have to say a big thank you to you. As always, Femi Shofoluwe here, very passionate about teens and youth counseling. Thank you so much for talking to us today. We would love to hear your opinion on this particular matter. Please talk to us. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.